got out the radio, and I loved.
Make you famous.
So we have a staff of 7 here in Crookston, and we move food. We cover a service area. It's 21 counties, from about the Canadian border down to as far south as Browns Valley, that area. We go about as far east as Osakis, Bemidji, that way, and to the North Dakota border. And so we bring in food from across the United States, and it's distributed to our agencies, which are emergency feeding programs like food shelves, soup kitchens, homeless shelters, to senior programs, to shelters, to abuse, violence centers. Anyone who is nonprofit and who doesn't sell our food. Those are the rules. To get food from us, you have to be nonprofit, and you can't sell the food. So then they order from us. We deliver to them about once a month. Some come in and pick it up depending on where they're located. And then they distribute food directly to people who need it. So that's kind of what we do in a nutshell. We store everything here. They get shopping lists once a month to order from. They can pick what they want depending on what we have in our warehouse. So that's kind of what we do in a nutshell, I guess.
Great. You said it was 3 million pounds of food this year?
Last year we distributed.
Or last year?
Well, our fiscal year ends September 30th.
Okay.
So during our last fiscal year, we distributed 3 million pounds of food. That was a 41% increase over the year before.
Wow.
And that's largely because the economy increased need. We have increased our capacity to actually handle and deliver food some, but all those things combined, a huge increase. Most of our agencies, show 10 to 40% increases also. So.
Wow.
So it's people always think, especially up here and, in our service area, the 21 counties we serve, you got a proud, strong people who really, they don't want to ask for help. They always think somebody needs help more than them. But even in our service area with that type of background, we've still had that amount of increase. So, the economy is affecting everybody, and just the way everything is at, people can't afford to pay their mortgage, their car payment, their medication, and buy food. So if we can fill that need somehow, and stretch their budget further, that's what we're here for. So that's what we're trying to do.
And you said, approximately half of the folks or more are working families?
Or
working individuals?
In Minnesota, 50% of all emergency feeding program users are children. 20% are senior citizens. That's 70% of all emergency feeding program users. And then we did a hunger study last year where we were able to visit a lot of different food shelves and our agencies and actually interview the clients. They're working 2-3 jobs trying to make ends meet, support their siblings or their parents or their, in most cases it's a life change. Someone lost their job. Mom and dad had to move back in because they're older. Whatever it is, that's the people we're helping and trying to feed. And, it's not the stereotype that you hear about, or somebody working the system or just not wanting to have to go to work. That's simply not the case. There's always a couple, a few, very minute percentage that, are chronic users, but it's not even worth discussing because it's so small. It's people who are just trying to find ways to make ends meet and to be able to feed themselves and their children or their parents or whatever the case may be.